Hi, my name's Jodelle. Welcome to my channel. Do you ever have this sensation that something's wrong, but you can't quite put your finger on it? That can be a really hard feeling to identify. And in this video, I'm gonna help you figure out what that feeling is, as well as ways to cope with it. So stay tuned, let's jump into it. So that feeling like something is wrong is actually a really great indicator that you're overwhelmed. And being overwhelmed can show up in so many different ways. The first part in overcoming any of these challenges is often identifying what the challenge actually is. So I'm going to share 8 signs that you are overwhelmed. Sign number 1, you're tired all the time. Even though you get enough sleep, you are tired. You want to have a nap. You want to just lay in bed. You want to take a break from the world. That is a classic avoidance technique, and it's a big sign that you are overwhelmed. Sign number 2 is forgetfulness, like missing appointments or even going to the grocery store for one specific item. You go in, you shop around, you get home, and lo and behold, the one thing you went to the grocery store for, you forgot. Now, some of this can just be normal everyday forgetfulness, but when you start missing appointments and you start forgetting things more often than usual, I would use that as an indicator. Sign number 3 is irritability. You're just annoyed with everybody. For me, this shows up as impatience. I find on the days that I'm more impatient, those are the days that I'm feeling overwhelmed. Like I have a lot on my plate and I just can't get through my day fast enough or through the world fast enough. Everybody's in my way and I'm feeling annoyed by all the obstacles. This can also show up just in emotional outbursts. This could be anger for some, this could be crying for others. There's a lot of ways that this one shows up. Sign number 4 is procrastination. Another really big, great avoidance technique that people will utilize. This also shows up in being unsure where to begin. If you feel like you have a project that's so large, sometimes it's hard to know what that first step should look like. Sign number 5 is physical symptoms. And this could be migraines or headaches. It could be tension in your shoulders. I will clench my jaw and not even realize I'm doing it. So have a look for physical symptoms. That could be another sign that you are overwhelmed, that you've got so much on your plate. You physically feel like the world is on your shoulders. You physically feel the weight of it all. Sign number 6 is you lose focus. It's hard for you to concentrate. Your mind drifts. It's hard for you to stay engaged in conversations. It's hard for you to even think about the task at hand. You're constantly allowing yourself to be distracted by the world around you. It could also drift to all the things that you have to do, all the things on your to-do list. But for some people, it might feel like when your mind wanders, you're just spacing out. You're not even thinking about your to-do list. You're just avoiding and disassociating from yourself. Sign number 7 is you're feeling stuck. You're paralyzed by indecision. You can't make a choice. It's hard for you to decide what to do next. And that is a big sign of being overwhelmed. You just don't have it in you to make one more decision. Even what to wear in the morning can feel like a huge task. And sign number 8, this is one that I'm classic for, and it's like that frazzled, frenetic energy. When I get overwhelmed, I get really hyper and I get really loud and I just talk a lot and I bring this energy to my day and to the people around me that can feel really stressful and can feel like a lot because my mind is racing a million miles a minute and I'm trying to think of all the things I have to do and I want to share it all and I want to get it all out. It's really hard to be productive from that place of chaos. So now that we know we are completely overwhelmed, and I basically have just added probably to your overwhelm by identifying more signs in your life to prove that you're overwhelmed, let's talk about 5 strategies to overcome the overwhelm. So strategy number 1, the breathing technique. I know people tell you to breathe all the time, but it's really true. You want to slow your breathing. Close your eyes and just slow your breathing down. That frenetic energy, that feeling of overwhelm makes us breathe shallower and it really triggers that fight or flight sensation in our bodies. It regulates your system again and kind of resets you, it grounds you a little. Plus it's easy, it's free, and you can do it anywhere. So why not try focusing on your breath? Strategy number 2 is my favorite, and this is to prioritize and simplify. You want to write it down. Write down all the things that you need to do. And this is where you want to prioritize certain tasks over other ones. And a really great chart to use, and I will post it here, is the impact effort matrix. Allows you to plot on this graph how much effort something is going to take you and what the payoff is for it. So what you're looking for is low effort with high impact. So something that might fall on that chart for me is to call my friends. That is really low effort, but it has a really high impact on my community building. So if that is on my to-do list, that would be something that I would be able to check off really easy, and it would be one less thing on my plate and I wouldn't feel so overwhelmed. Now, something that might be a little trickier is creating a YouTube video. That's gonna have a high impact, but it is high effort. And so because I can't see that impact, sometimes it feels like in the moment it's low impact. So what we're looking for here to help you with your state of overwhelm is these quick wins that have high impact. Using this matrix to really plot and prioritize your to-do list or what's on your plate is going to be really helpful, and it'll help you tackle some little things that will have a really big impact on your overall well-being. The third strategy is to set boundaries. Get real comfortable with saying no. So we're in the month of November, and I know people love to have themes, and so why not make November no November and just say no to everything? You just came off an awesome month with Halloween, probably doing lots of great stuff. You know Christmas is looming. That holiday season, you're going to be saying yes to a whole bunch of things. So why not make November the time for you to hunker down, work on yourself, get your plate really clean, get yourself in a nice, organized mindset, recharge your batteries so that you're able to offer the best version of yourself over that holiday season when you most certainly are going to feel overwhelmed and snappy, and that will test your patience. The fourth strategy is a brain purge. And this is where you want to get everything that is in your brain on paper. So again, this writing it down, getting it out of your mind, getting it out of that hamster wheel, because when it's in there and you're thinking about it constantly, that is going to create so much more stress because you're trying to remember what you forgot. And that is the worst feeling in the world, that sense that you have forgotten something, and it could be as small as picking up, I don't know, bread from the store or signing that permission slip for your kid. It could be anything, but that sense of forgetting something that you should be remembering just adds to that sense of overwhelm. A really great tip for writing things down, you want to keep them short, punchy, just write it down. It doesn't matter what it is, anything that's floating through your mind. It doesn't just have to be your to-do list. It can be like, I'm struggling with putting my kid to bed, or I think that I'm failing as a parent because I haven't been teaching them some life skills that I think I should be teaching them. Whatever it is that's rattling around in your mind, just write it down. A great time to do it is before bed because it will impact the quality of your sleep. So when you're laying in bed and you've got ideas and thoughts rolling around in your head, one great tactic is to picture a stop sign to stop all those thoughts in their tracks. But another one is just to write it all down, get it out, and you will be surprised at what a difference it makes. If you haven't tried it, I really challenge you to try it because it is so beneficial, and it's hard to see the benefit if you haven't tried it. And the fifth technique kind of goes in line with the first technique, and this is a grounding activity. So it's 5 things you see, 4 things you hear, 3 things you touch, 2 things you smell, and 1 thing you taste. I might have those in the wrong order, but basically just your 5 senses, and you're just working your way through them. I remember I visited a friend and I was just coming off of a really high energy day, and so I was carrying all this really frenetic, this crazy energy into the room where we were meeting. When I came in, you could tell my energy was at a 10 and hers was, at a 3. It was just a nice, comfy, ready for a nice chat conversation, and I was just like all over the place. And so she actually made me sit there and do this grounding technique. And it just got me really present and enjoy each other's company and match her energy. It was really beneficial in that way. So once we label a feeling, it's much easier to come up with the strategies to help overcome that feeling. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and you're not quite sure how to tackle it, reach out. I'd love to help. Just know that you're not alone. Everybody deals with it at some point in their life and to different degrees. And sometimes it can be really hard to find the solution when you're in that feeling of overwhelm. So just start small. Just start chunking away one thing at a time. Just one tiny thing you can do to work towards that sense of relief, of feeling confident that you can handle everything that's on your plate, so that you're in a position where you can take on more. You can be open to new opportunities that life has to offer. Thanks very much for watching. That's it for me today. And if you like what you saw, remember to sub if you love, and I will catch you in another video. Bye!